Hi everyone, this is Droolius.com. Today we have Ted Allen, TV host of Chopped and other TV shows. Thank you for joining me today.
Nice to be with you.
Thank you. We're here at the Whole Foods in Orlando, Florida. And today Ted will actually be speaking about wines and pairing it with food.
Absolutely.
Since we are going into the luncheon today, general questions about pairing food with wine. Can it be as simple as pairing with a general dinner, maybe with a burger or some pasta? Are there any general tips that you have to pair wines with a specific, food?
Sure. Well, I'm here with the Robert Mondavi Private Selection portfolio, and Mr. Mondavi, who pretty much single-handedly created the American fine wine industry starting in the 60s, always used to say, drink what you like. So the idea being that there isn't some rule book that says that you have to drink Cabernet Sauvignon on the steak, but there are, whether you're having a burger or whether you're having a 19-course fancy French meal, there is going to be a wine that will complement your dish better than the next one.
Right.
And the most basic way to look at it, of course, people think that the old rule, white wine with fish and chicken, red wine with beef, is hard and fast. It's actually not. It all depends on how is that food prepared. Is it, if you grill a chicken and then put a Veracruzano sauce on it, which is tomatoes and olives and capers and onions, it's suddenly a much more powerful food than if it's just got a delicate white wine sauce. So that might mean that chicken needs a red, maybe a light red like cream wine. A burger generally is going to want a Cabernet Sauvignon or something bold. Bold food, bold wine. Delicate food, delicate. Is a simple way to look at it.
Right.
And if you want, and by the way, my job with Robert Mondavi is to try to break down that intimidation factor that a lot of people feel.
I think there is a lot of intimidation on trying to pair wines with specific foods because there are so many generalizations about wine. Now, for myself, I love something like pork belly.
Yes.
Or even bacon. Could you pair a wine with bacon or pork belly? I mean, obviously pork belly because of the savory, but how about bacon?
Well, bacon, very rich and fatty, smoky, salty. I probably, you could either look for a wine that sort of mimics those qualities in its richness, but I think I'd probably be more inclined to try to cut it.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like when you talk about eating Asian food or Indian food, people usually think of, people often drink beer with that, something that's more neutral. Because of its richness and its saltiness, something sort of crisp and refreshing maybe might be in order. You could also argue that something sweeter, not sweet, but sort of like an Alsatian Riesling or Johannesburg Riesling might be nice. That's
would something like a Gewürztraminer be too sweet?
No, an Alsatian Gewürztraminer might be nice.
Okay.
I don't think I would go with Blue Nun. Okay. That's actually legal. I don't think I'd go with Blue Nun generally.
I just ask because that's kind of like my go-to wine now recently. So
Gewürztraminer is such a great pairing for Thai food.
Thai food, really?
Vietnamese food.
Okay, good.
It's a wine that has floral qualities that mimic a lot of the spices that you see in things like cardamom. That's actually a go-to for me too.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Absolutely.
All right. Another question: If you could decide on a basket on Chopped to challenge the chefs, what would you put in that secret ingredient basket? Or something that maybe that you've been wanting to see on there.
We've done almost everything.
You have.
We just finished our 153rd. We're shooting now.
Wow, congrats! That's great.
Our 153rd episode. And the hardest part for me is that every day I have 3 baskets, and it's a 12-hour day.
Right.
By the time I get to the end of each act, I'm like, what was that? The pork belly, Dijon mustard, strawberry fruit leather, and pine nuts. Generally, I'm happiest to see a dessert basket that has ingredients that force people to bake. Which is actually almost impossible in 30 minutes. And it's kind of fun to see, there's not much that you can bake. I'm always mystified when people come on without having some kind of recipe in their head. The dessert round is coming.
Right.
I'm really shocked that no one ever makes a mousse. It would be so easy.
Right.
You know, when we had our judges compete, both Jeffrey Zakarian and Odon Sanchez made a souffle.
Right.
There are plenty of things you can make that are quick. You just have to, or the ice cream machine is a good way to go
Ice
too.
cream machine.
I mean, I don't have a basket of ingredients that I specifically want to see people use, but there are ingredients that I dearly love that I'd like to see in there. Dijon mustard.
Dijon mustard.
Is big for me. Fresh mozzarella.
Ooh,
Smoked mozzarella. I'm always happy to see bacon. But I'm also a little tired of seeing chefs resort to bacon as a crutch.
Right.
That's going to make everything else good.
Because everything tastes good with bacon.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Pretty much. I'm sick of the trend of putting bacon in dessert. Like, yeah, we get it. You can make bacon caramels, whatever. It's, you know, you eat one and you don't want any more.
Right.
It's a nice novelty. In Dallas, I saw in a convenience store they were selling bacon-flavored toothpicks.
Toothpicks. I don't know if I go there.
I don't think so.
Or chapstick.
I don't think so.
Okay, one last question. Besides the city that you reside in, or the state you reside in, what's your favorite food city? Where would you like to travel to, eat the food, enjoy, you know, the wines, or pairing it with food?
Probably New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay, great choice.
Yeah, awesome food town. I love heat. I love the spicy stuff. I love the fresh Gulf shrimp. More than anything, I love the decadent culture of New Orleans and people who truly, first of all, are weird and who are, it always feels like a city where half the people there are on parole, which is probably true. The chef John Besh being an amazing example of, John Besh has opened 6 restaurants since Katrina.
Wow.
And that's a city that rises and falls on what happens with hospitality and restaurants. Restaurants make New Orleans what it is. I don't think of New Orleans as a party town or a drinking too much town or a strip joint town. I think of New Orleans as a place of literary history and culinary amazingness and architecture. So I would pick New Orleans, and I'll have the crawfish etouffee, please.
Crawfish etouffee.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Ted.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Nice to meet you. Y'all have a good day.
Ted Allen.
There's a lady walking in front of the camera right now.
So sorry.
That's okay. I like that. That's
I'm
cool.
saying I know who
It's
you
not your-
are. I'm
it's not
so
your fault.
sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.